The war for microchips. Right now, a silent war is being fought across the world. Not for oil, not for gold, not even for land. This war is being fought for something smaller than a fingernail, microchips. Tiny pieces of silicon that power nearly everything around you. Your phone, your car, your laptop, military weapons, artificial intelligence, global communication systems. Without them, modern life would begin to collapse. And today, the future of the world economy depends on a supply chain so fragile and so politically sensitive that one disruption could send shockwaves across the planet. At the center of it all is one island, Taiwan. And whoever controls the future of microchips may control the future of global power. Microchips are the hidden brains of the modern world. Every time you unlock your phone, open an app, drive a car, send an email, or stream a video, microchips are working behind the scenes. They process information, store memory, control machines, connect systems. They are not just inside consumer electronics. They are inside power grids, medical devices, banking systems, missile guidance systems, fighter jets, factories, data centers. In the 21st century, power is no longer measured only by armies or natural resources. It is measured by computing power, and computing power depends on semiconductors. That is what makes microchips so important. They are the foundation of both economic growth and military strength. No advanced nation can function without them. And yet, producing the world's most advanced chips is one of the most difficult manufacturing processes humanity has ever developed. At first glance, a microchip looks simple. A small, flat square. But in reality, creating one is an extraordinary feat of engineering. Advanced chips are built by layering microscopic circuits onto silicon wafers with extreme precision. The structures on these chips are so small they are measured in nanometers. For comparison, a human hair is tens of thousands of nanometers wide. Inside a single modern chip are billions of tiny transistors. To manufacture them, companies need ultra-pure materials, rare chemicals, advanced software, and some of the most complex machines ever built. The factories that produce them cost billions of dollars. One tiny mistake, one particle of dust, or one equipment failure can ruin an entire production batch. Because of this complexity, only a few companies on Earth can produce the most advanced semiconductors. And among them, one company stands above the rest, TSMC. TSMC stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. It is one of the most important companies in the world, and yet most people have never heard of it. TSMC does not sell phones or laptops directly to consumers. Instead, it manufactures chips for the companies that design them. Some of the largest technology firms in the world depend on its factories. These chips power smartphones, computers, cloud servers, artificial intelligence systems, and advanced military technologies. Over the years, TSMC became the global leader in semiconductor manufacturing. Today, a large share of the world's most advanced chips are produced in Taiwan. That means the global economy depends heavily on one geographic location, one island, one industrial ecosystem, and one very fragile supply chain. Taiwan is not only important because of its technology. It is also important because of its location. The island sits in one of the most politically sensitive regions in the world. China considers Taiwan part of its territory. Taiwan operates as a self-governing democracy. The United States supports Taiwan, but also tries to avoid direct conflict with China. But as microchips became the most critical technology in the world, Taiwan became even more strategically important. If Taiwan's semiconductor industry were disrupted, the effects would ripple across the entire global economy. Car manufacturers could lose vital components. Consumer electronics production could slow dramatically. Artificial intelligence development could stall. And supply chains across dozens of industries could break down. The world got a glimpse of this fragility during the global chip shortage. Suddenly, industries that relied on semiconductors found themselves unable to produce enough products. Automakers cut production. Electronics companies faced delays. Supply chains slowed, and consumers around the world felt the impact. The shortage did not completely stop the global economy, but it exposed a serious vulnerability. Modern civilization had become dependent on a highly concentrated semiconductor supply chain. A small disruption could have massive consequences. And that realization changed how governments view microchips. Semiconductors were no longer just a business issue. They became a national security issue. For the United States, the risk was clear. While America leads in chip design and technology innovation, much of the physical manufacturing happens overseas. That creates a dangerous dependency. If the country that designs advanced technology cannot reliably produce the chips it needs, it becomes strategically vulnerable. So the United States began investing heavily in rebuilding domestic semiconductor production. Billions of dollars have been directed toward new factories, research programs, and supply chain development. The goal is not just economic growth, it is technological independence. But the United States is not the only country racing to strengthen its semiconductor industry. China also understands the importance of microchips. For years, it has been trying to build a powerful domestic semiconductor ecosystem. From China's perspective, reliance on foreign technology creates strategic risk. If critical technologies are controlled by rival nations, they can be restricted or cut off. That is why China has invested enormous resources into developing its own semiconductor capabilities. But catching up in advanced chip manufacturing is extremely difficult. The technology is complex. The equipment is specialized. And decades of experience are required to master the process. This is why the semiconductor industry is one of the most concentrated industries on Earth. Different countries dominate different parts of the supply chain. The United States leads in chip design and software. Taiwan leads in manufacturing. South Korea produces advanced memory chips. Japan supplies specialized materials. And the Netherlands produces some of the most advanced lithography machines ever created. These machines are essential for manufacturing cutting-edge semiconductors. Without them, producing the most advanced chips would be nearly impossible. This means the semiconductor supply chain is not controlled by one country alone. It is spread across a small group of highly specialized players. Efficient, but also fragile. The competition over semiconductors is not just about economics. It is about technological leadership, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, military systems, space technology, and the industries that will shape the future of global power. The nation that leads in semiconductor technology will have enormous influence in the decades ahead. Because in the modern world, power is no longer measured only in land or resources. It is measured in computing capability. Microchips may be tiny, but the battle over them is enormous. And in many ways, the future of the world may depend on who controls the next generation of semiconductors. The war for microchips has already begun, and its outcome could shape the balance of global power for decades to come. This has been Acute. Sharp documentaries about the world.